friends, what's cracking and stacking? It's your boy Johnny here coming at you today in World of Warcraft. Ramparts Healing Guide. Ramparts is the first dungeon you're going to come across in the Burning Crusade. It is located in the first area there, the Hellfire Peninsula, in about the center of the zone, where the broken wall is that divides the zone in half. I will post a picture here so you guys can see. There are factions that you can grind here, depending on what side you're on, either the Honor Hold or Thrallmar, for Alliance and Horde respectively. It's very low difficulty. People do tend to grind it for the said Honor, though, for the rep. It is a fairly short dungeon, but there are a couple skills that can make this easier if you're a Shaman. A Tremor Totem and a Fire Resist Totem, which we will go over when the packs call for it. The Bone Chewer Hungerers at the start of the instance are a cakewalk. They have 3 skills: a Demoralizing Shout, Disarm, and Strike. They are extremely easy and nothing to be concerned of, but however the next pull can be a little crazy. After you pass the bridge, the area is going to open up a little bit. There's mobs off to the side as well as a patrol you need to be careful of, and in these packs that can be pulled is a Destroyer. And the Destroyer can do a couple of things, including Mortal Strike, Sweeping Strikes, and a Knockback. So it's very helpful if the tank actually faces their back to a wall, so they don't pull more mobs, including this pack. Because of the Mortal Strike and the possibility of adds from the patrol, this pull can require a lot of burst healing, so be ready. Since I was good on mana, we decided to go ahead and pull that patrol while it was close. You have to fight it at some point before the first boss anyway, so whatever opportunity is the best for you. Here you will see the Bleeding Hallow Archer. They have 2 skills, Multi-Shot and Aim Shot. The Archers aren't too bad to deal with. The only time you need to worry is maybe if the tank has a Mortal Strike on him from the Destroyers. The Raveners have a Kidney Shot skill, and that's pretty much it. It's time for Just the Tip Johnny! Coming up, you guys are going to see a group of Scryers surrounded by a Ripper. The Scryers fear, but they buff the Ripper. I would kill the Ripper first if you guys can, but if not, just be ready for the fear. This has been Just the Tip Johnny. And here's the Scryer Ripper pull. You'll see somebody run by feared, and I already have Tremor Totem down. The Ripper himself, he just has an Enrage, and of course he can get Fell Infused by the Scryers. The Scryers themselves have a couple different abilities. They have Fear with Shadow Bolt, and also the Infusion that they will buff the Ripper with. Among some of the other miscellaneous patrols, you will find a Beastmaster. The Beastmaster has a couple skills, including a Knockback and a Battle Shout, but his most important ability is that he can summon dogs that do quite a lot of damage. Now, the dogs can be CC'd with all your normal stuff. They can even be sheeped and trapped and all that kind of stuff. Hibernated if you're a druid. Just kill this guy when you see him. The Bleeding Hollow Dart Casters are, like their name suggests, so they're casters. They have 2 abilities, a Scorch ability and a Rain of Fire ability, which, if you have the ability to interrupt it, such as a Shaman with Earthshock or any other way you might have, that'll help you with healing for sure. So interrupt these guys if possible.
This may hurt a little.
Watchkeeper Garshit is a melee mob that has 4 skills. He has a Charge, he has Mortal Wound, Overpower, and a Retaliation. So other melees that are attacking him should stand behind him. He also comes with 2 healing adds which will heal him. The heals can be interrupted and the adds themselves can be CC'd if needed. Notable healing loot that drops from this boss are Cloth Shoulders, a Plate Chest for Paladins, and also a quest item if you have the quest Weaken the Ramparts. It's time for Just the Tip Johnny! Alright guys, after the first boss is down, there's a couple more trash packs that the tank may or may not pull, but once you go through the entryway, that's like a little doorway, there's a staircase that goes up. Right after that is probably the most annoying pull in the whole dungeon. There's a group of mobs and all they do is spam fear, so Grounding Totem and Tremor Totem here works great. Other than that, super annoying. Just be ready to basically spam heal and anything you got to deal with the fear. This has been Just the Tip Johnny. Alright guys, and here's that spiral ramp that I was talking about. It just goes up, and around the corner is a group of Scryers, and those are the mobs that just spam fear. I'm pretty sure they're Scryers. But the tank will pull into this corner here. And here we go with the pull. Yep, they're all Scryers. And here we go. He's pulling around the corner. And this is a great place for Tremor Totem. You're going to need that basically on a button. So you can click it really fast. And see there's more fears. If you drop Tremor during a fear when someone is feared other than yourself, it'll break the fear usually right away. If you have a Tremor Totem down, you have to wait for the ticks. So you want to have it down and then also drop it if possible. Grounding will help here as well. But you see it's just fear after fear after fear.
Fuck!
Your insolence will be your death.
And here we go. This big demon guy is the second boss of the instance. He does a few things. He will curse somebody with an aura, treacherous aura, and it will cause them to do damage to people around them every 1 second. So you want to spread out on this fight. He also does a demonic shield, a shadow bolt, and he will summon a fellhound type thing that has life drain. Depending on how high your group damage is, you may or may not see him knocking players into the air. What he does is he will take the person with the highest ag on his list, the highest aggro, usually the tank, and he will knock them into the air, and then he will run loose for a minute. But when the tank lands, he will go back to the tank. So you may or may not see that ability. Some notable loot that drops off him is a two-handed healing mace for pallies, a necklace, a staff, and his quest item if you happen to grab the quest.
The Dark Lord laughs at you.
This is a two-mob encounter. There's an orc and his mount. There's a couple things I would like to note before we go over the abilities. The first being that the mount will land regardless of how fast your DPS is. So sometimes the mount, if you have slow DPS, sometimes the mount will land when the orc is still up. And sometimes if you have fast DPS or really good DPS, it'll take 10 seconds before the mount even lands. So during the first phase, the mount will remain in the air and it will be shooting fireballs. They'll land on the ground and they basically do burn damage, so you don't want to stand in the fire. The orc himself only has a couple abilities. He has a shield slam ability and a revenge ability. When the mount actually ags, he's going to ag whoever caused the most threat, and sometimes, most of the time, it's actually the healer, because the tank can't actually build ag on the mount yet. So the tank needs to pick him up as soon as possible. And when that mount lands, he's going to do a cone of fire, which does a crap ton of damage. So fire resist totem will help a bunch here. When the encounter is over, there's a chest that will spawn in the back, and that's where the loot is. This boss can drop some nice healing items, including legs and rings. He drops a cloth leg, a mail leg, and 2 healing rings, and also a quest item, of course. Actually, 2 quest items, so don't forget to loot those. Alright guys, and there we have it for the World of Warcraft The Burning Crusade Classic Ramparts Healing Guide. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button. And then if it was helpful, consider hitting the subscribe button and really help the channel out. I'll see you next time.